The Young Thug YSL RICO trial has been one of the most interesting court cases in music history. From many YSL members who considered Young Thug a brother are now turning on him, snitching for a lesser prison sentence, to even all of this new evidence now being pieced together. We now understand why this famous clip of Young Thug banging his head on the table in the courtroom was from, as information in the courtroom usually takes 1 to 2 weeks to be released and pieced together to the public, and we now have answers. Now, the video clip of Young Thug in question is this. Leave a like on the video if you're a fan of Young Thug. I'm curious how many fans are watching today. Now, sources are now beginning to claim that allegedly this is Young Thug's reaction to the courtroom releasing new information of YSL Woody, as YSL Woody has become a federal informant, and he's the reason that the feds were able to solve 50 crimes made by YSL, as well as other street teams in Atlanta, as shared in a DJ Akademiks tweet that states, "Truth teller YSL Woody popped back out on Instagram last year after cooperating with the police for 3 hours in solving 50 crimes, telling on Young Thug, YFN Lucci, as well as others." Ironically, in his caption, he claims that he didn't cry or cooperate. Now, just as his tweet stated, before YSL Woody became a snitch, he posted this to his Instagram in 2021. "I sat in jail days, nights, months, and years without knowing the outcome. Didn't call on God, didn't cry or cooperate. I started working on understanding myself, realizing who I am and what I'm worth. Jail gave me time to think, grow, and understand. Only point I have to prove is showing my people that whatever we put our mind to, we can do it. Stay away from bad energy, focus, and believe in yourself." Taking a photo right out front of a YSL mansion that's owned by Young Thug, which is very interesting as now YSL Woody has become a confirmed snitch in this court case. At this point, many YSL members that Young Thug thought of as brothers are now turning on him daily, as shared even by Young Thug's sister, who spoke out about the clip and looking defeated in the courtroom, telling us to realize that Young Thug is going to court daily, 8 hours a day, people he called brothers turning on him and snitching. This is a very hard time for the YSL kingpin. And to make matters even worse, while Young Thug is battling one of the hardest court cases to beat all by himself, his old best friend Gunna, who snitched on him in this case, has now broken his silence. As on February 22nd, Gunna's lawyer released this new statement regarding Gunna's snitching. As DJ Akademiks tweeted, Gunna's lawyer puts out a statement saying, "Gunna ain't no truth teller, and he won't help put King Slime behind bars. Y'all believe it?" With this statement attached, and I quote, "Comment on article from Gunna's co-lead defense counsel Steve. After reading Miss Wick's outstanding and insightful article, I am obligated to say for the record one more time, Gunna has never been interviewed by or cooperated with law enforcement or prosecutors in the RICO case, nor have his attorneys proffered information on his behalf. What was said at his Alford plea hearing was solely to resolve his own case. It cannot be used by the prosecution against Young Thug or any defendant." Now, this is very, very interesting lawyer work. In case you're unaware, the case Gunna snitched on Young Thug in is true not to be the RICO case. Now, the lawyer does have a point, but it's actually a separate court case where Young Thug and Gunna were pulled over in their vehicle. Inside of the car was a firearm as well as narcotics, and this is where Gunna claimed in the courtroom that the firearm and narcotics are not his. So if they are not his, this would just land on Young Thug, obviously, as in the court eyes, this is Gunna snitching on Young Thug 100%.
Not you agree or acknowledge that the statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in front of you.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocarbons and a firearm were recovered. The these items did not belong to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL to the detriment of my community. YSL again. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
So yes, Gunna didn't actually technically snitch on Young Thug in the RICO case, but he did snitch in a separate case. Now the statement from his lawyer is the second time that we have heard from Gunna since his release, as Gunna's tried already testing the waters on social media to see a response from the YSL fans, and it did not go as planned. As after the Gunna snitching video went viral online, DJ Akademiks tweeted, YSL is having a beef on Instagram. Gunna came out and tried testing the water, claiming YSL the label, and even said free Young Thug. Everybody in YSL is looking at Gunna like, buddy, you're the reason that he's in there. They all unfollowed him right after, even Young Thug's sister as well. Now this all began when Gunna tweeted, rest in peace Lil Keed, I love you and I miss you twin, regarding to the late YSL rapper Lil Keed, who sadly passed at the start of the YSL RICO trial. Gunna as well as Young Thug have not been able to put out statements about this, as they have actually been locked up since he passed. He then later posted on his Instagram a picture at his at-home studio with a caption stating, people acting like they switching to his side, but it's only one side. Hashtag YSL the label, free Young Thug and Yak. Now this Instagram post got a lot of backlash from YSL members that are staying true to YSL as well as Young Thug, as YSL King Mondo replied to Gunna on Instagram stating, and I quote, I ain't gonna bite my tongue. Baby boy, you don't need to be saying nothing about YSL or free Young Thug after what you did and said. You really got some nerve. After some time passed from Mondo calling Gunna out, he made a return to social media, as someone caught footage of Gunna driving around in his drop-top supercar, enjoying a carefree world ever since snitching, revealing that Gunna wanted to save himself and no one else. Gunna knew how serious this court case has become. The rapper needed an out, or he would also be looking at serving life in prison alongside Young Thug. Now with the video of Gunna going viral in his supercar, he would then post this to his Instagram story. 3 laughing emojis, practically laughing at the situation. It's also very important to note that Gunna isn't the only snitch in YSL. Allegedly, there's around 12 to 15. Not everyone has been named yet, but people in YSL started snitching the moment they walked into jail. On the day that the 28 members of YSL were raided and arrested, this was said the day after at the first court hearing.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's king slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
Concerns that this court has is danger to persons and to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
Even from the start of the trial, it's been clear the feds only want Young Thug and no one else. This isn't a YSL takedown anymore. This is a Young Thug takedown, as the feds want him in prison to stop any sort of street activity among YSL or other street teams in Atlanta. Prosecutors raised concerns to the judge, claiming that Young Thug is having his lawyers send out secretive tweets over a jail phone that contain secret messages to YSL members to continue breaking the law. Now, Young Thug released a tweet on his Twitter via his manager making the post for him, stating, I'm talking with my roommate and we're wondering if you could swim 100 miles from the middle of the ocean back to shore, at Michael Phelps. Now what seems like an innocent tweet sent out by his manager turned very ugly, as this is Young Thug's lawyer defending him in court about this single tweet.
Williams is in a jail outside of Fulton County. There are 0 cell phones in that jail. That last tweet that was sent out to Michael Phelps is recorded. It's been investigated by the sheriff of that county, and it was a conversation that's recorded between Mr. Williams and a member of his close friendships, that he asked the other person who has control of his Twitter account. That is not a reason to...
Well, this is part of the conversation, Mr. Steele, and you and others are going to need to have with your clients, because this is part of the state's concern. I mean...
That was an innocent... That's nothing bad. Asking somebody to tweet to Michael Phelps, can you swim 100 miles in the ocean? That has nothing to do with intimidation. So I'd ask you to read.
Well, if I can communicate through a family member or somebody else, then I can communicate something else.
Everything okay over there?
Sorry.
Yep. Okay, your family was concerned that something was going on. You're fine, right? Yes, I'm great. Okay, cool.
Allegedly, Young Thug is using his Twitter account via jail phones to send secretive tweets out with his manager. Not to mention, even during court hearings, YSL members allegedly really look like they're just trying to set up Young Thug for trouble. As at a recent court hearing, a YSL member tried slipping Young Thug something in front of a guard as well as judges. Now that was during the most recent court hearing. It kind of looks like the YSL member tried setting up Young Thug to give him a bad image in the courtroom in front of the jury. It is yet to be confirmed whether or not Young Thug was in on this or not, but we'll have to just wait and see. Now I am ending the video here. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Anyways, it's been District Trending and I'm out. Peace.